Welcome to another episode of Naked with Dr. Money. I am Dr. Stephanie Ardrey coming to you live from Montego Bay, Jamaica. As you may have noticed, my camera is not working. And for some reason, anyway, a last minute technical difficulty on my side. So we're going to go with you hearing from my voice as opposed to being able to see my beautiful face real time. And I'm, yes, stating that it's a beautiful face because I am standing in my space of love, happiness, joy. And so every week, as many of you know, Naked with Dr. Money is the vlog where I share my journey as the CEO and president of ZenoVerse Wellness Group, where we're building wellness resorts and corporate wellness solutions around the world. And basically, what we do is we assist people with healing holistically, helping them to address mind, body, and soul. And so, Naked with Dr. Money is really the behind the scenes look at how I maintain my own mind, body, and soul wellness along this journey. And as many of you know, I have been healing, going through a physical healing that was very interesting because it manifested right after a completion of what had really been a 7 year kind of journey through intensity. And what I didn't realize was all of the extra emotional stress and trauma was also building up in my body. And so before I could properly take on my next venture and journey, it was necessary that I stop and do a complete detox, mind, body, and soul, in order to make sure that before I move forward in my next intention, that my soul is properly aligned with my ancestral assignments. And so that's really what has been happening is that for the last month, I've been working through what manifested in my body as a pinched nerve. And this pinched nerve situation elevated to a very high intensity. It basically took me to my pain threshold because I only approached the treatment protocol initially from the physical perspective. And although I thought my daily practice, where I was working on my own mental well being, was sufficient, but I didn't recognize initially that the signs were that my body needed to go deeper and that I needed to unpack some additional layers in order for the healing to be manifest. So anyway, those things have been happening and it's awesome. There's so many new programs and that we'll be bringing forward to share so that you too can have these experiences. But anyway, today is a unique segment of Naked with Dr. Money because both Pascal Sharp, who you were introduced to earlier along my journey, he was the gentleman, the businessman that I met on Tinder. And we began a relationship that aligned really more around dealing with our emotional kind of trauma, but mostly around business interests that we saw and opportunities. Well, here we are, fast forward. We're attending an outsourcing conference located here in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where Pascal is here representing his organization. I'm sort of here in the role of just basically giving love, joy, and happiness. So I'm here in the spirit of just floating and offering support coaching as Pascal is stepping forward in his existence as the CEO of his company. So I'm going to bring him into the conversation so that we can kind of discuss where he is along this journey and how his experience today is different than maybe what it would have been had we not began this joint effort of moving forward. Pascal, so hey man, how you doing?
Hello, how are you doing? Dr. Money,
Good.
how are you doing this
Hey,
morning?
hey.
I
I'm
know how
so
you're
good.
doing, but we're asking for everybody.
Yes, I'm fabulous. I'm living my best life, right?
That's yep. Same, yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. You know, we're
Sprinkling
getting
love
better.
everywhere I go. Exactly. Sprinkling love everywhere I do go. Like, who knew that
Hmm.
that could be an assignment? You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was telling everyone that, hey, we're at this journey. Here you are at this out, outsourcing conference. You're connecting with
Hmm.
people, kind of describe what this whole feeling is about because, we focus on mindset, right? And so, what you and
Hmm.
I have talked a lot about is that setting intentions, how important it is to set the intentions before we enter into engagements, and how by
True.
doing so, we begin to realize different experiences. So, kind of share with
Hmm.
us how this has been going in terms of what you've been thinking and sort of how today is manifested and just how you're experiencing your connections with people.
Today is definitely going well. I think it's the as you know, the process started setting up my mind from day prior to what leads to today, and even this morning, you know, you were going back to the mindset challenges. But once I got in the game mode, I made sure, you know, I got the direction that I needed with you, set out the plan for the day, the game plan. So it became something that I had to jump in. And once I jumped in, and as I was saying earlier, it's like the door was open for me the whole time. It was just for me to go and walk through it, you know. And but coming from, if I was listening to my mindset, I would have stayed in my comfort zone, more in a learning phase rather than engaging and taking action phase today. So
And that is
that's
so
that.
important. But don't blow past that because think about that. That is something that's a subtle difference in approach that sometimes people miss.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes when I go to conferences, depending upon who's on my team, I set up a full strategy about how we're going to engage.
Yep.
Sometimes we're going to a conference where there's thousands and thousands of people in the room. So then I tell the
Mm-hmm.
team we have to disperse. You go sit at one table, I'll go sit at another table, you go sit at another table because we know
Mm.
who it is we each. So we each are going to resonate. Typically,
Yes.
what most people want to do is they want to go sit with their friends. They want to go sit with the
Mm-hmm.
people they
Their
already
peers.
know, their peers,
Their
but that's
peers.
not why you're here. That's not why you're
Yes.
there. If
Exactly.
you already
Exactly.
know them, you don't
Exactly.
need to sit
True.
with them. You need to go meet the new people that you need to meet,
Yeah.
right? And you got
Yes.
to step out of your comfort zone to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you're doing that, you have to think about, well, how am I going to engage with these new people?
Yes.
What hit
Yes.
me this morning, even for my own role today,
Mm-hmm.
which was different than usual. I shared with you how if I was going, like, you're going to be doing 101s this afternoon.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, you have
Starting
very
3 o'clock.
specific reasons to set intentions with who you
Mm-hmm.
engage with. Whereas for
Yeah.
me, my role is to kind of sit back a little bit differently. So, I had to
Yes.
ask the Almighty this morning. So, how will I know who I should engage with? Right? Well, I
Mm-hmm.
have to just go up to random people, and it was like, no, the people are going to be drawn to you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say something to you. All you have to do is be engaging
Yes.
and
And I've
take it
seen
from
it.
there. And you've seen it, right? Isn't it
I've
crazy?
seen it. I've
It's like
seen
it's
it.
real
You
time.
know? Yeah. Very early you had a win. And that
Yes,
really motivated me and made me understand that, you know, we're not here to play games anymore. Like, we have set goals, we have set intentions. I need to do my part. You know, I need to
yes,
do my part.
yes. So, what are you thinking about in terms of so far? What have you felt in terms of the feedback for today? What are the
The
highlights that you feel like you've captured?
I think the most important thing for me has been the fact that part of me holding back or my comfort zone is thinking that I definitely need to know exactly what I'm gonna get from somebody if I reach out to them. And so far, out of the, I would say 2/3 of the people that I've met so far, they were and that ended up being something promising. Where mostly people were like, we're just having a conversation, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Of course, I'm targeting a sector of activity, industry that is promising. considering that we're at an outsourcing company event, that works in my favor. So I guess that helped also grabbing the attention of the people that I've been talking to. But at the end of the day, there was no specific thing that I need to get from them. And it became very smooth, a more friendly conversation that really opened for another door rather than me having. It's a question of setting the right intentions, but not being stuck up with it having to go a certain way. So
Right.
I guess for me, it's the part where
I think it ends up being a
you
bit
hear
of
me now. I
creating
think
space.
I'm not sure if you lost
Yes.
me a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like I was frozen. Yeah, I'm moving again.
Yes, I'm.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I was pretty much what I was saying is that it's been a combination of, yes, setting up the right, looking for the right outcome, but not being stuck up with number of things that you stay behind,
Absolutely.
because you haven't worked out all the single details of what you're gonna be talking to that person. My best outcome came from people that I reach out to, higher them at a more productive. Like, we're not necessarily reaching out to my peers because it came up with more addition to what I was looking for. Because it came from reaching out to the right people at the right time. So yeah, it's finding the balance between going for it and setting up the intention, but not being too hell bent on having it a specific way where you're open to the opportunity. I'm really experiencing that life is happening for me. So that's the
Absolutely.
mindset to keep. Yeah.
That is so outstanding. Well, as you and I both know, whenever a room gets quiet, that means that people must be eating. So, as much as we knew that we had to jump on to do this episode of Naked with Dr. Money and let folks know what's up, I think
Yes.
that we should set the intention to go get us some food as
Oh
well
yeah.
as to set up the intention for your afternoon because you have a small little window before you getting ready to
True.
slay some more giants. So, what do
Yeah.
you think going into the afternoon sessions ready to slay the giants?
Um, I have two good meetings today. I have about three set for tomorrow, so I think that's a very interesting agenda considering the people that I'm meeting. My goal is to really see if there's a potential relationship with whoever I'm meeting, and if there is, make sure that I set the next step appropriately for the company.
Well, that's perfect. Well, again, Pascal, thank you so much for jumping in and sharing
My
how
pleasure.
you are
Always.
mastering the mindset and you out here closing the manifestation part of that, making those deals
Yes.
happen as a result of it.
No,
Appreciate you. Yeah,
before we go, I have to say that I'm glad that you are there with me. Somewhere, um, yeah, being my last experience, I was mostly alone representing the company. That's a way that I'm very capable of caring, but having the right mentorship and the right person with me here does make I can see the difference between the last time where I'm more here to grab stuff. Having the right team behind me has made a big difference. So I'm happy to have you here supporting me with this. And I'm saying that because we've been talking a lot, you and I, about the value of mentorship, the importance it has what it has brought for me in my journey today. And this is definitely something that I today, with my perception, with my understanding of this the journey, this is very important, and I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to be here to motivate me, bitch slap me if necessary. So
oh my gosh.
so
I love
yeah,
you.
no,
That's
well,
what's
we
up.
need
We
we need
giving
to
it to
it
them real. No,
yeah,
it's
it's
like
about getting
love,
through.
right? It's about
Yeah, there's
getting
no turning
through.
back. There's no
There's no
turning back mode. It has to happen. So that's the mentality. And having not being alone does make a difference. So thank
Yes,
you.
because to me, I always believe as a teacher that you demonstrate, right? So the thing is that if I want you to be able to model how to slay the giants, then it's great for
Yep.
me to be here and give you some examples of what it looks like,
True.
because
True.
sometimes you can explain theoretically, but if a person
Yeah.
doesn't understand, and what I always tell people is that some of what I do in spaces, I can't explain to you. You can only observe, and you learn by
Mm-hmm.
observing how I move. So you need to see me
Yes.
move in some spaces. And then once you
Yes.
see it, then it's like, oh my God, she said it, and
Mm-hmm.
bam, there it is. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, now, well, baby, let's go and get us some of that grub, because it's time to get some grub. So
Whew.
let's do it. Well, thank you,
And
Pascal. We're going to catch up
thanks
and
for having
find
me.
out about how many bags you grabbed, because you got the bag,
Yes.
we know. So
Yeah.
we'll do
Yeah.
another update and come back and let the folks know. So where should they go to catch up with you? Your website? Is that where you want
My
them to go if they
website
want to
first.
connect?
Yep.
Yep.
My website first and my LinkedIn.
Okay.
And where I'm definitely looking to. I think that I need to share more about what's going on in my industry. So
Mm-hmm.
for whoever wants to keep up, field service is a 14 to 17% growth. I think no matter what, all those business process outsourcing, maintenance and repair will keep growing. So I need to make sure that everybody understand that this is the BPO sector that will I think will be untouched for the next 5-10 years nonetheless.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to you. We can't wait to hear more about your success journey, because we know you're about to win, win, win. All you
Yeah.
do is win, 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 no matter what,
Yes.
right? That's what we claim.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
then I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being a
My
guest,
pleasure to be
and
here.
let's go eat, man.
Let's go eat.
All right. Well, everyone, I want to thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Naked with Dr. Money. Remember, if it is noon on Wednesday, Pacific Daylight Time, then it is time for Naked with Dr. Money. So you better come and get you some. I will see you next time, and hopefully you'll get to see me as well. We got to get this camera situation resolved. But until then, I want you to take care of you. One love. Dr. Money signing off. Take care.